What's shaking, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Iron Maiden, and we're going to go back to a tune on their Somewhere in Time album. I mentioned it before, I'm a huge fan of this album. I really enjoy sort of the path that they explored with this album. I know it's like famous for having keyboards and so on. I really love the entire album. It's really great. I did react to Alexander the Great already. I did react to Caught Somewhere in Time already. But I wanted to come back and react to Wasted Years, a tune written by Adrian Smith. Really enjoy the tune, musically and lyrically. Lyrically, it's interesting. Like, part of the lyrics, I think it's more about his experience as a member of a really popular band that travels to all different continents on the planet and plays hundreds of shows and so on, a number of tours throughout the 80s. I believe he wrote this partly because he was somewhat homesick, like he was just passing through all these cities night to night and, and realizing he enjoyed them, but they're already gone because he has to go on to another one and so on, and being sort of, missing people back at home and, wishing he could just be at home during some of the time where, again, it just feels like he's always on the road. So I think part of it relates to their experience as a band that played on multiple continents and continues to do so. But I do think part of it also is it's a classic Carpe Diem song, right? Like, it's a, stop thinking about like what you could be doing with your time, or did I waste my time here? Did I spend it meaningfully? Like, you're in the golden years right now. So just, capture the moment and just embrace it and try to have fun with it and be creative with it and, try to balance things and so on. Which ultimately I do think Adrian Smith left the band partly because he just wanted to return to a bit of normalcy in his life. And I do think also he wasn't thrilled with No Prayer for the Dying, which I don't think he contributed to as much. But yeah, so I think this relates partly to his experiences and, sort of mental struggles as a member of a band that was always traveling, always touring. But I do think there's a sort of timeless human sentiment, which is, seize the day and take advantage of being one of the human beings that is in fact alive right now. There are more humans dead that have already lived than are alive right now. And so ultimately, if we're lucky enough to be alive, we'll seize the day, make the most of it, and don't lament the passage of time or the wastage of time. Just try to make the most of time from each moment to moment. And I do want to, credit anytime you can write lyrics that combine the personal to you with sort of timeless human themes. I think you've really hit on a gold mine of semantic meaning. So once again, shout out to their songwriting abilities. And again, it's clearly not just Harris, it's not just Dickinson. Adrian Smith again wrote this song and it's fantastic. So here we go. This is Wasted Years by Iron Maiden on their album Somewhere in Time, which I'm just trying to remember. Is it 1988? I think it's 88, but before I start, let me just confirm that. My internet is going to be difficult. But here we go. Somewhere in Time, 86. I apologize. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son was 88. But yeah, this is 1986. So here we go. Wasted Years by Iron Maiden, 1986 on Somewhere in Time. That guitar riff really caught my attention when I first listened to this. It was like, ooh. Got some mystery, got some intrigue, and then it, wow. I did forget that part. It's not just being homesick and missing people. It's like, I've been living this way so long, I don't even know who I am anymore. Am I still the same person? Sometimes when I act, I feel like it's, it's not me. Bruce's voice. I'll comment on it in every video, but it's unbelievable. Yeah. love that stagnation at the end of that line of the chorus. Watching this, you are. If I'm doing this video, I am. I think it's the kind of lesson that just applies in every walk of life, at every level. Embrace the time you have. Oh my God. Feel the intensity of that sentiment in the guitar riff. I was saying it was mysterious at the beginning, but it's sort of like hitting different now, like after the lyrics have layered into my brain. I mentioned in another video that they do solos, like, but they never feel repetitive or tired. It's like they find ways to just explore different, like, solo avenues of axe work. Still singing over the top, even though the chorus came back in. That was amazing. Every day, make your stand. That like stagnated, syncopated end to the lines of the chorus. A bookended tune. It started mysterious, now it feels like a clarion call, that guitar riff. Right to the end. Yeah, that's incredible. It's funny, like there's certain songs that I immediately think of when I think of albums, and you know, when I think of Somewhere in Time, I do think of both Caught Somewhere in Time and Alexander the Great. This one, like, you know, if you had asked me a few days ago, I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, I mentioned the two that I just mentioned. I might have forgotten that this one was on there. But then again, then I started thinking about the chronology of albums, and I was thinking about, oh, and Adrian Smith left shortly after this, and like, oh right, like Wasted Years. And I realized like I really had to react to it. So let me know if you like this one. Let me know if, you know, for you, the solos, again, I keep commenting on it, like every time I get to one of the solo parts, I'm almost trying to like find like moments where, oh, it kind of sounds like the solo here or the solo there, but it really doesn't. They just really find ways to explore different avenues of like individual guitar work, and then when they come together with the harmonies and they do those riffs, it's just, again, like whether it's their lyrics or their musicianship, I just find that like even songs I've now heard over the last few years dozens of times, especially in this setting, I'm sort of like coming to a new level of appreciation, which those who watch my old channel, you'll know, you know, I've been listening to acid techno for like 25 years, like more than that, like late 96 is like 26 years almost. And there are a lot of tunes that I've done reactions to, from techno and trance and so on, where in the reaction it's like, man, I've used this as a DJ like 100 times, but I've never really just kind of like sat and kind of like listened to the tune and kind of commented on it and whatever. So like part of doing these videos has really brought me to a new appreciation of music I've already been loving for decades. Iron Maiden doesn't go that far back for me, but again, it is this thing where as I go through and I do these video reactions, and I'm sort of forcing myself to just kind of listen to the different parts and to try to take stock of the meaning and the way the lyrics blend with the sonics and so on, I really am coming to a like remarkable appreciation of both their lyrical quality and their musicianship. So let me know if you feel the same way. I know there's some people who have been commenting, and again, I really appreciate you. The fact that there are some people who are keying in on these Iron Maiden reactions like fills me with joy to no end. So big ups to all of you. I do appreciate you listening and watching. Have a good day, have a good night, and I will see you next time. Peace.